Well, good morning and welcome to the second lesson of Speech 203 online. All right. So hopefully by now you've taken a good look at the syllabus. Hopefully by now, and I know most of you have looked at the orientation session, the recorded orientation session from last week. I felt we had really good live attendance for those. And then I understand that many of you, about half of you, couldn't make it. I get that. That's no problem. But I have emailed you. Make sure you find it and have looked at the orientation session. If you can't find it for some reason, please email me back and let me know, and I'll resend it to you, okay? The orientation session kind of oriented you to the whole course, all right, for the goals of the course or where we're going. These weekly videos that I'll start doing now that we're in lesson 2, are to kind of focus right in on the week and what we're doing. These are not meant to be teaching videos. These are kind of administration videos. It's like, you walk into face-to-face classroom, usually the first 10 or 15 minutes, the instructor kind of goes over the details of the week and says, do y'all have any questions, that kind of thing. So some of the things I want you to look for in the Moodle this week, lesson 2, are the 3 PowerPoints that are there for the first time. They relate to your textbook. They're like study guides. They're like chapter, what am I trying to say? Chapter outlines, all right? And my goal is to have you use the textbook as a resource, to actually read the chapters that I assign, but I'm not asking you to memorize these, okay? There's a quiz that you must submit after you've done the readings and after you've looked at the PowerPoints, and all the answers are there. This is open book, right? I'm not trying to trick you or anything. I'm just trying to cause you to, you've spent the money on the textbook. I think it's an excellent textbook. I designed the class around the textbook, okay? So I really want you to be familiar with its contents. It's not about memorization. It's just about good reading skills, all right? And that's what the PowerPoints help you with. They kind of walk you through the chapters, and then the quiz kind of helps walk you through it. So relax, enjoy the textbook. I know you want to learn something in this class. That's the goal, is to learn something useful. And of course, as I said earlier, get a good grade. I understand that. So this week, you're going to do speech 1. Hopefully by now you've downloaded Audacity. If you have any trouble with that, let me know. There are other alternatives. I think YouTube has a quick capture feature if you have a video camera and audio. But you do need to have some way to record your speeches, okay? So, and if you look, I'll get to it in a second, but if you look in the learning module, I give you some other instructions. So this week, you're going to record a speech about yourself. It's simply an introductory speech. Hi, I'm whoever I am, and here's the kind of person I am, and here's why I'm at Trine. Here's what I'm doing. Here's what I hope to do with my life. Here's what I'm actually doing in my life right in a second, So just tell us about yourself. Keep it lighthearted, but do start with a note card, okay? Please have an outline of some kind. And, I always have a note card. I just go through it real quickly, and it keeps me focused. And then, therefore, when I get done with the speech or done with these lectures, these mini lectures, I just don't say, oh, dang, I forgot something. All right. So I'll look at that here. So with your speech, you have to submit it 2 places. One, you're going to submit it to what I call peer review, and that's a traditional discussion feature. And that way you get to interact with each other and look at each other's introductory comments, okay? That way we kind of learn who we are as a class, all right? And I'll try to remember to post my own there, okay, this week sometime. So that's just a kind of a community building experience. So that's where you post it to what's called peer review. You also have to upload it to the assignment link. And that assignment link is linked to the grade book, and that's private, just between you and me, and that's where I actually grade your speech. And on something like this, I'm grading basically on engagement. Did you do the assignment? Did you do it to the best of your ability, right? Were you organized? Did you, see, I say a lot, okay, because I'm pausing to think, all right? At the same time, did it again. Don't write your speeches out. Don't do that, okay? They become really, really stilted. Now, it doesn't hurt to have your outline on note cards and then practice it, walk through it a couple of times, all right? There's no problem with that, okay? But don't write it out. That's not necessary. That holds you back. It kind of stifles creativity. Never write out your speeches, all right? Then you'll also find 2 discussions, and I can see already, boy, you've really worked on them last week. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The 2 discussion forums, in addition to peer review, are meant to cause you to interact with the material in the textbook. And I think I said this last week in the orientation session, that we're listening to some really powerful speakers, and the skills there are very interesting, and they're really excellent skills. They're powerful because they're using language well. They're using tone well. I'm not expecting you or asking you to stand up in front of 100,000 people. Martin Luther King stood up in front of more than that, right, and gave that stirring speech. I'm not asking you to do that in this class. I'm not even trying to teach you that. I'm trying to teach you to stand up in front of a small group of peers and have a good experience, all right? Last but not least, I want you to make sure you open up and download what's called the learning module. And that walks you, every unit, it walks you through the details, in detail of the unit. There's quite a few details of the Moodle itself, but it'd get too busy if I put everything there. So make sure you look at the learning module document. It's a Word document. It starts off with the learning outcomes for the unit, the learning module outcomes for the unit. It gives you kind of a list of all the activities. It tells you in detail what the assignments are. There's usually some links there, some hyperlinks, so you don't need to print it out. Just download it and look at it on your computer, please, and then you can use the hyperlinks. And then items 6 and 7 are always the same. They're always very critical. They're always there, but I said the same. I don't quite mean that. They change. But one is, I tell you where the additional resources for the unit are. Sometimes you might need those. And then item 7, I always talk about planning ahead. And planning ahead this week is all about thinking, start to think about your topic for your major speech. Your speech this week is about yourself. That's the topic. The next 3 speeches, including your last speech, the major speech, and the PowerPoint that goes with it, are your major topic. And it's imperative that you find a topic, and I'll talk about this more next week, that works for you. You know, don't do tree hugging or abortion or gun rights or those kind of things. Things you don't really have any vested interest in. Do something about your own life, something about your career, something about your sports, something about your hobbies, something about your family. Do you have any issues that you need to explore? Spend this time well in the next 5 weeks doing something that helps you. Don't make up some kind of high school social topic. Don't do that, okay? Nothing government, nothing like that. You know, let's not get into that. Do something that's important to you right now at this stage in your life, and something that's going to help you. Okay, I feel I've yacked on long enough. I start to run into upload problems to YouTube. So please, 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 there are no stupid questions in the class. Get a hold of me when you need me. It's imperative. The class moves very quickly. It's only 5 weeks left out of a 6-week class already, okay? So, hey, you know how to get a hold of me. Thank you.